Meron na? Hindi pa.
Meron na.
Ayun. So,
Meron na.
wait lang. Yeah. So, good morning, class.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Okay, how are you today, class?
We're fine, sir.
Very weak, sir.
Okay, good to hear that. So, before we start our discussion, let's have a short prayer for us to have a blessing from above. Mr. Princel, may you lead the prayer?
Yes, sir. Okay, let's bow our hands and feel the presence of our prayerfulness and effectiveness. Lord, thank you for this day that we all gather to this meeting, especially to the Sir Joshua. Guide him throughout the lesson and for us to learn. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Princel. So, next is uh, Miss Secretary, who are the absent for today?
Good morning, sir. There are no absence for today, and we are 16 in this meeting, 15 students and one teacher.
Okay, very good. Give yourself a clap. For sure, you're excited to our next topic. Are you?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good work, class. But before that, here are some friendly reminders that we need to take note since we are in the virtual classroom setting. So, yeah. So, first is turn off your audio while listening to the teacher, then unmute it if you are going to recite. So, it is important to turn off your audio so that we will avoid some unnecessary noises while the teacher is discussing the topic. Next is check your name tag. So, since we are in the virtual classroom, you should put your full name in the platform so that I can notice you or I will know who my students are. Next is click the raise hand if you want to talk to the teacher or use the chat box if you have concern so that I will know if you have some concern and uh, it will not affect our class discussion. Next is talk clearly if you want to recite. We all know that it is hard to follow in the virtual setup, so we need to talk clearly while we are reciting so that everyone will understand the discussion. Next is prepare for random calls so that for us to know if we are still following and we are still in the discussion. This will be my observation also if you are still listening to the discussion. Wait. Okay. Then last is report to the teacher if you suddenly experience technical problems or if you have urgent meeting. Or you can use the chat box if you are experiencing technical problems in your place or if you have an emergency. Are we clear with that, class?
Yes, sir.
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 Yes.
Good to hear that. So before we start, Miss Kimberly, may you recall our past lesson?
Sir, our past lesson is all about hazard and risk.
Thank you, Miss Kimberly. How about Mr. Raymond? Can you discuss us what is our past lesson is all about?
Sir, our past lesson is hazard and risk, wherein the hazard is some the risk is a situation involving exposure to a danger.
Good work, sir. How about Miss Jessica? Can you give us some example of what are the possible danger that we might experience in our daily life?
Come again, sir.
Um, can you give us some example of what are the possible dangers that we might experiencing in our daily life?
Um, like kitchen hazards, sir.
Good work, ma'am. So before we start our discussion proper, let's have some short activity called Drawing Mo Sagot Ko. So drawing, I will read the instruction for you and listen carefully. The instruction is the class will divided into two groups. Each group will have one representative to use the board in the platform to draw the following words given by the teacher through private message. The remaining group mates will guess what the representative drawn in the board. The two groups will have 2 minutes time period each to guess the drawing. The group with the highest point will have a corresponding prize when the class discussion is done. So, are we clear with that class? Are we
Yes,
clear with
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, the first group are, the first group are Raymond, Jessica, Kim, Jessa, Princel, and Christine. So, and the other groups is Danjo, Argil, JR, Daniel, Christian, Raniel, Claire, and Venri. So, I will flash the whiteboard here, and that will be your uh, material for the drawing. Wait a minute, class. Do you see the whiteboard, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think the first group is now ready for our activity. Are we?
Excuse me, sir. We didn't see the whiteboard, sir.
Okay, okay.
Sir, I
Cannot see,
still
sir.
can't see the
To
whiteboard.
collaborate, whiteboard, collaborate. Okay, do you see the whiteboard marker? The whiteboard now?
Yes, sir.
Still none, sir, sa akin.
Hindi po sa akin, sir.
Can't display. Wait.
Okay na po.
Okay.
Meron na po, sir. Yes po.
Okay, so the group one, Mr. Princel is your representative to draw the following words I've give to him. I've give to him. So are you ready, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you only have 2 minutes. Wait. Okay, 2 minutes. Are you ready, class? Mr. Princel, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2 minutes. Timer starts now. Class, guess what Mr. Princel drawn?
Triangle.
Circle.
What are those shapes, sir?
Shapes.
Wrong, class.
Oh.
9. Or
What is
Lines,
Go, class, you
lines,
can do that.
objects. So hard.
Examples of freehand drawing, sir.
materials.
Art material, sir. Sure.
Tools,
Tama.
No,
Tools and
Mm,
equipment.
handy tools,
no, class.
measurement, measuring.
No. So timer start. Time's up. Okay. You
Ano?
didn't get any of the following. So the following words are danger, sweeping, chemical hazard, stress,
ah,
family, environment, healthy, ruler, scissor, and brush. So I guess you didn't get any of those. So let's wait for the other group if they guess the words too. So group 2, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you also have 2 minutes to guess the words. So timer starts now.
First aid kit.
No,
First aid. Help.
Hospital.
no.
Scale.
Cemetery.
Help.
Oh, Cal.
Tama. Help.
Okay, next word. Last 1 minute, class.
Physical hazards. Cuts.
T-square.
T-square. Next word.
Ruler. Pencil.
Pencil. Next.
French fries.
French fries.
Pencil.
No. Last 20 seconds.
Paper.
Eraser.
No.
Noisy.
Paper.
Noise.
Speaker.
Noise.
Noise.
Protection.
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 Protect.
Time's
Protect.
up.
Protect.
So second group got 1, 2, 3, 4, and four words. So the other words that they didn't guess is tools, biological hazard, cleaning, protect. Pro- you've got the protect. So physical and color. So now so group 2 got the higher point than group 1. So group 2 has a corresponding points later. So did you enjoy the activity class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you know that the activity we did is related uh, to our topic today, which is the identifying hazardous areas in mechanical drafting. Do you see the PowerPoint class?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. Do you see the PowerPoint class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So again, our topic for today is identifying hazardous areas in mechanical drafting. But before that, we need to know what is occupational health and safety first. So yeah, occupational safety and health is a cross-disciplinary areas concerned with protecting the safety, health, and welfare of the people engaged in the work or employment. As a second, as a secondary effect, it may also protect co-workers, family members, employers, customers, suppliers nearby communities, and other members of the public who are affected by the workplace environment. So this is one of the reasons why we need to learn about occupational health and safety, because it is not only for the safety of ourselves but also for the safety of others. And we can also know if our environment or our workplace is safe from us. So in occupational health, we should aim the following. So Mr. JR, can you read the first sentence? Mr. JR, may you read the first sentence?
Promote and maintain the highest degree of physical, mental, and social well-being of worker in all occupation.
Thank you, Mr. JR. So promote and maintain highest degree of physical, mental, and social well-being of workers in all occupations. So promoting and maintaining our physical and mental health will take us from accident-free because we can move and we can think fast and active in case there is a danger around us. So do you understand, class?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, let's move to
Yes,
our
sir.
let's move to the next sentence. Mr. Venri, may you read?
Occupational health should aim to promote and maintain the highest degree of physical, mental, and social well-being of workers in all occupations. Second one, place and maintain the worker in an environment suitable to his physiological and psychological capabilities.
So place and maintain workers in an environment suitable for his uh, psychological and physiological capabilities. So of course, class, in occupational health and safety, we will also need to learn that the workers have capabilities and incapabilities in having their jobs. So we should put our workers in the place or in the job that they can make it easily so that we will assure their safety in the workplace. So next is, okay, next, Miss Jessa, can you please read the third sentence? Miss Jessa, can you read the third sentence? Okay, I guess Miss Jessa is not has a technical problem. So Mr. Danjo, may you read the third sentence?
Protect workers from risks resulting from factors adverse to health.
Oh, that's right, class. We need to maintain and protect our workers, not only ourselves but also our workers, so that it will not cause harm that can result to injury or worse is to death. So the last one is to prevent workers from resignation due to health caused by poor working conditions. So of course, class, that it is also our responsibility to take care and to make sure that our workers are free from accident. And uh, because they have also the right to resign once they feel that they are not safe. Of course, class, they can resign. And worse is they can also report our business or our workplace in the authority like in DTI or in the Department of Labor and Employment. So that's why we need to make sure that we are all safe in the workplace. So did you understand the meaning and the aim of occupational health and safety, class?
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes, sir.
question? Clarifications?
Yes, sir.
None, sir.
Okay, I have a question. So what if we fail? So what if we fail to achieve the aim of occupational health and safety? So any hands? Mr. Tirao, what will happen if we didn't achieve the aim of occupational health and safety?
Sir, there is a possibility that the working area will not be safe and the workers will possible to resign to their job for their safety.
Very good, Mr. Tirao. So now let's move to our next topic, which is the safety practice in mechanical drafting. But before that, let's first tackle about the procedure setting up drawing tools, materials, and equipment, and standard procedures. So in preparation for a required task in mechanical drafting, student also should plan prepare, and select tools for materials for a particular drawing activity. This is to ensure that the correct setting of standard procedure and accuracy of drawing. The drawing tools, materials, and equipment are very expensive items. However, these are important in all drafting tasks. Considering its cost and value in drafting activity, it is also important to take care and maintain its usability. With this, the following considerations are strictly emphasized as standard operating procedure during and after the utilization of the drawing tools, materials, and equipment. So, Miss Christine, may you read the first sentence before the start of drafting activity?
Select the tools, materials, and equipment needed in the assigned task.
So,
Hello, sir.
yes. Okay, thank you, Miss Christine. So that's right, class. We need to choose what are the things that we need to use in our drafting activity so that our table or our place will not get messy and free from dirt. So next is Mr. Christian. Can you read the second sentence?
Properly set up the required tools and materials in a place convenient for you to move and execute your work.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Christian. So we need to set up properly so that we can find it easily what tools we need to use. So next is next. Okay, next is uh wait, di ko ma- okay, next is clean the table and tools. See it See to it that these are free from dust and other elements that would cause damage to your work. And also, wash your hands with clean water so that the dirt from your hands will be cleaned and will not affect your work. Do we understand, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So next is now let's move to the activity proper. So first is to perform the activity by the following standard operating procedure per job. We should follow the standard or the instruction given to us so that it will not affect your work. So next, Mr. Daniel, may you read the next sentence? Mr. Daniel.
I'm here, sir. Properly manipulate all the tools and equipment that are used in the activity.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daniel. That's right, class. We need to manipulate or put together and put properly the materials that we need to use. And last is, in case of errors or mistake along the way, use appropriate eraser. In drawing, we need to use the appropriate eraser because if we are not using the best eraser in our works, there is a possibility to make our work get messy or dirty. Then next is the after the activity. So first is submit your output to your teacher for checking. Check all the tools and materials to ensure that nothing is lost. Return the tools and materials to the toolkeeper. Withdraw your borrower's card from the toolkeeper and sign out that you have returned the borrowed tools and materials. And lastly, oh, forget. Okay. Lastly, clean your workstation before leaving. So that that are the things we need to remember before, during, and after the activity, not only in mechanical drafting but also to our daily life. Do we understand, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do
Yes,
you have
sir.
some question, clarification?
None, sir.
Okay, so now let's move to our next topic, which is the other important, the five methodology in workplace. So 5S, which is stand for five Japanese words that refers to a methodology not only for cleaning, but also for business. The 5S methodology is all about eliminating waste, speeding up daily tasks, and improving the quality of the workplace. So you can use the 5S methodology to help you organize your tasks at the end of the every working day. So first is the first methodology now, Mr. Danjo, may you read?
Sorting. I take out unnecessary items and dispose. Keep only that items you need at work and discard or store everything else.
Thank you, Mr. Danjo. So sorting or city is like segregating. So but we are going to keep the things that we need to use while the others are will be thrown or stored for the possible use. Next is Satan or set in order means that there are place for everything and everything should be in place, arrange necessary items in good order for you. So Satan is placing our things in the right place so that we can find it easily for the next use. Next is Mr. Raniel. May you read the next sentence?
Seesaw or sweeping. At the end of each working day, take time to clean up your office space. Clean up any mess you make.
Thank you, Mr. Raniel. So seesaw or sweeping. So in short, clean as you go. Every time you will leave your place or you need to uh, every time you leave your place, you need to clean it for the next day or for the next use. Next is Seiketsu or standardizing. So maintain high standard of housekeeping. And may you unmute your microphone, please? Okay, and the last one is Shitsuki or maintaining or sustaining. So do things spontaneously without being told or ordered. A systematic or productive workplace is not one day affair just because somebody is observing you. You need to sustain what you have started it. So that are the 5S methodologies. So do we understand, class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
if we understand, Miss Claire, can you name all the 5S methodology?
Yes, sir. Saglit lang, sir.
Okay.
First is shorting, second is set in order, and third is sweeping, and fourth is standardizing, and for the last is sustaining.
Okay, thank you, Miss Claire. Now let's move to our last topic, which are the types of workplace hazards. So there are many things affect to the health of a person, such as his environment, his lifestyle, etc. Work is an important determination of health. It can influence health in a positive or in a negative way. A place that is safe, healthy, and work conductive entails more productivity. In fact, with a healthy workplace, you will be doing more work with less effort. So Now let's move to the types of workplace hazards. So first is safety hazard. So inadequate and insufficient machine guards, unsafe workplace condition, and unsafe work practice. So Ms. Apalis, can you give us an example of safety hazard? Ms. Apalis, can
Sir,
you?
example
Okay.
of sir. Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
example of safety hazards is falling or trips.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Apalis. So falling and strip are the examples of safety hazards. So next is biological hazard caused by an organism such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. So, um, Miss Jessica, I have a question. Miss Jessica.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In biological hazard, do we consider COVID-19 as a biological hazard in our workplace?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Because COVID-19 are still caused by viruses and bacteria that can harm the employees or the workplace.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Jessica. That's right. So COVID-19 is also considered as biological hazard because it is a uh, virus that affect every workplace here in our country. So next is now let's move to right chemical hazard. So liquid, solid, vapor, or gaseous materials, dust, fumes, or mist. So that is the chemical hazard. So I think Mr. Ferrer has an example of chemical hazard. Mr. Ferrer, do you have an example of chemical hazard?
Sir, the chemical hazard that I know is being exposed those material that contain chemical components like paints and graphites from pencil.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ferrer. Next one is ergonomic hazard. So anatomical, physiological, and psychological demands on the worker, such as repetitive and forceful movement, vibration, extreme temperature, and awkward posture arising from improper work method and improperly designed workstation, tools, and equipment. So, Mr. Terao, can you give us an example of ergonomic hazard? Mr. Terao.
Sir, medyo choppy po kayo.
Okay, I will repeat. So, ergonomic hazard is an anatomical, physiological, and psychological demands on workers, such as repetitive and forceful movement, vibration and extreme temperature, and awkward posture arising from improper work method and improperly designed workstation, tools, and equipment. So, can you give us an example of ergonomic hazard?
Sir, yung ano po sir, sa tulad na lang po yung sa gym po sir, yung mga nagbubuhat po ng mga weights po, ganun.
Okay, thank
Yung
you, Mr.
proper pagbuhat po nila, yan po.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Terao. So that's right. So ergonomic hazard in our workplace. So uh, example is that is uh, when you when you pushing or yeah when you pushing some materials in construction materials, then if you don't have a good posture, it might also uh, cause danger from you. So next is physical hazards. So noise, vibration, energy, weather, electricity, and radiation and pressure. So Mr. Fernandez, can you give us an example of physical hazard? Mr. Fernandez, can you give us?
Fire, sir.
Okay, so uh, example of physical hazard is the uh, in construction sites, 'di ba? There are many noises in the in that field, so that might cause hazards from you. So last is psychological hazards. So those that are basically causing stress to a worker. This kind of hazard troubles an individual very much to an extent that his general well-being is affected. So one of the example of psychological hazard is when the worker is not mentally healthy. There is a possible that he can think right, and uh, that will cause a danger not only for him but also to others. So do you understand, class, the types of workplace hazards?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think we are all ready for the quiz, but before that, uh, let's ask, why is it important to know the safety practice in mechanical drafting as a workplace? So any other hands? Miss Jessa, why is it important to know the safety practice in mechanical drafting as a workplace? Miss Jessa, okay, why is it important to know the safety practice in mechanical drafting as a workplace so that class, we can assure or yeah, we can assure the safety for ourselves, not only for ourselves, not only for us, but for the other people around us in our workplace. Next is, why do we need to apply the safety practice in the workplace? Any other hands? Mr. Pincel, why do we need to apply the safety practice in the workplace?
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think we do apply safety practice in the workplace in order for us to aware. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pincel. So last is, why is it important to understand the 5S in the workplace? Any hands? Okay, Mr. Terao, why is it important to understand the 5S in the workplace?
For us to be aware in our workplace, and we can also apply uh, this These precautionaries are to our daily life. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Terao. So now let's move to now quiz. So uh, I already post it in our team. So read the question and the direction properly and carefully. So you may now take your quiz. So are we done, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good job, class. So our assignment for today is define the meaning and draw the parts of personal protective equipment to be passed on Monday, January 17, 2020. Are we clear with that, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all for today. Good day and thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
and
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir.
Wala na. Okay. Shit, nawala yung application ko.